Hello and welcome to May 7th of Ikkura Trading Challenge, otherwise known as Ikkura Capital on Instagram and just ikkura.com. Let's see what happens.
Well, you can see I'm wearing a bit of a red shirt today. Man,
But you should be green.
I should.
It went
I
up
should.
yesterday.
Let me tell you a little preview of what I did, which is that, as you know, I was below $100, so I rebought in with $1,000. I made some moves. I'll tell you what those are in just a second, but I believe that I was at $1,058, and I think that I am at $800. Shall we have a look and let's see how much my net worth has fallen or risen? Who knows? Maybe fallen.
It's not easy. It's not easy to lose money on a green day.
It
Unless you
is not
fall.
easy. It is not easy. And yet somehow, I'll tell you how well I did. Oh, okay. I didn't do nearly as bad as I thought. I'm at $1,007.56. So
At least 1,000.
at least I'm still above 1,000. I was really, really worried earlier in the day because I thought that actually I slept absolutely horribly as well. Like I stayed up until midnight trying to, because I now had this money in my account. So I decided, like, what do I want to do with this money? And so I came up with the strategies. And so I committed about 500 of this into trades.
Okay.
So the few things that I did, I had an Uber call, I had SPY calls. And so what I did is I sold that Uber call as it went back up, and because it was expiring. And then I had a long think about where Uber was going because they were reporting earnings at close of market.
Ooh.
What I decided to do was, okay, if this earnings call is coming out, Uber's rising up, but I believe that they're going to perform badly. That was my hypothesis. So I took a bet on Uber that they would perform badly, and I bought 3 puts, 2 for tomorrow, and 1 for the 15th. And of course, my goal being to sell the puts tomorrow as they fall. And actually, Uber went up massively.
Oh, shit.
It was about the 9%, up 9% when I sold my option. At the end of the day, it got to 11%. And then earnings call came out. They performed pretty badly, but not quite as bad as some people thought. And so they're up 6% after hours.
Wow.
So I actually believe my put will drop in value as soon as the market opens. Yeah, because it doesn't look like they've dropped on after hours trading. And hey, we'll see where Uber goes actually. And then what I also did is I bought one more Walmart call as I had purchased that call for expiry on the 15th, but actually their earnings are on like the 18th, 19th, I can't remember the date. So I bought another call for the 29th. Same strike and whatnot. So I'll hold on to that. And then I have one more hypothesis that I was kind of testing is I'm seeing Disney bump around from 100, like 100, 101, going up to 106, 105, and then coming back down and jumping up and down in this 5% range. And it was up 5% yesterday. And so I bought a put and hoping that it would come down, but it went up. So, but I didn't spend much money on that. I actually, I spent 22 cents. So I ended up spending about $50 on that. And now it's down to $16 worth. So be it. Maybe it'll drop tomorrow, maybe it won't. I'm not sure. I want to play with some short-term bets, and especially right as the earnings and stuff are happening. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try.
Well, good luck with that strategy. I don't mean it sarcastically. I think that these very short term, like 1 day, 2 day, even 1 week bets, it's amazing. You can make so much money.
The potential returns are amazing.
Amazing.
100% loss is also very plausible.
Very possible, and I definitely think that I've done a couple of them. I think I haven't done the 1 day, 2 day bets yet. I've done the 1 week. Minimum I've done is 2 weeks, and I think that if you get it right, you strike it rich, right? But if you don't, you're completely wiped out. So I definitely want to keep some money in my net worth, my portfolio for those types of bets.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've gone wrong, right? Same thing. I bought space put. I bought space put 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And then that day it went 11%, and yesterday it went up 9%.
Yeah. Incredible.
So it's like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. So are you going to? Actually, I want to. Let's hear where you're at right now, and then I want to talk about where you're going to go.
Okay.
Zoom, I saw performed nicely, so I think you'll have a decently friendly morning.
Okay, I think I'm going to be at 4.9. Oh, 4.8. 4.824.
Ah, you're quite close, though.
Close. Yeah, Zoom did nicely. It's getting destroyed on space. Whatever. Yep, JD went up. Everything else went up, kind of. Let me see any moves. What moves I tried to make that did not go through. Yeah, only 2 trades happened yesterday. I sold some JD.
Oh, you sold?
Yeah, I sold 2 out of my 3 JD that I held.
Why did you do that? Why did you decide to?
Now, the main reason is that I was just so I'm still bullish on JD, but I think that because the earnings come out I'm just playing safe here.
Yeah.
My goal was to sell some JD and buy some more JD further up.
Yes.
Because I finally I bought it at 1 point. Let me just see. 60 cents? No, 40 cents. 30% gain. Okay, I sold it for 30% gain, 2 of them.
Yeah, it's a very respectable. It's a very nice gain.
Thank you. About a week. So earnings comes out on Friday, and my puts expire on Friday. Okay. And I can just totally see myself in real panic mode if it goes red suddenly today or Monday. And I'm like, So I wanted to lock in some gains. And then buy further out, because even if it dips next week, I'm sure it's going to rise later on in 2-3 weeks later. So that was my idea. I wanted to buy some more JD calls further out.
Got it. Okay.
But I didn't get my price. I'm really lowballing.
Right.
So yeah, ConocoPhillips went up.
Are you break even on those now? As in cost
No, I'm not. Phillips, it's so tough. I don't know why let me just see real quick. Actually, you know what? Yes. There's just a really I'm up on ConocoPhillips. It's just that it didn't trade at my no options actually happened. It's not a very volatile stock, I guess. There's not a lot of volume. So the last price it transacted at was 93 cents.
Right. My
option price was 139.
Got it.
But the bid and ask spread is 1.27 to 1.72.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's there's not a lot of activity and not a lot of options are moving, which is really surprising. I don't know why people aren't betting more on ConocoPhillips.
Yeah, that is very surprising. But also the fact is you may just end up in the money, in which case you can the transaction will settle anyway at the end of the day.
Yeah. So that's it really. Walmart, yes, good on you for buying more. Am I down now in Walmart? Oh.
Yeah, I'm also down.
Just gotta hold it, I think. Just hold it through and see.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's really just hovering around. I mean, it's only having this 1% kind of slide every single day, it seems like, down right now. And I think as earnings come up, I think we bought too early, actually, which is, for whatever reason, I thought Walmart earnings were coming up soon. What I see in stocks that have like this positive sentiment, it's within a week.
Mm.
It's if you buy 5 days before earnings, the uplift in volatility in particular only happens on the last 2 days before earnings. And
Okay.
what seems to be the strategy is to sell the day before earnings is announced, or if earnings is in the morning, and if it's at close of market, then you sell the day that earnings is announced before it's announced. Typically, that is what you want to do.
What's your strike price on Walmart?
130.
Okay.
So that's actually it's quite a reasonably big move that it needs to get to. I actually don't expect it to get into the money. I wanted the cost of the option to be low enough for me to still afford it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's very expensive.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all in all, decent day, I was going to say. So I posted our first bit of marketing on Instagram. We didn't get too many new followers. I think we got like 5, but it definitely generated a lot of comments. I think people find what we're doing quite funny.
Yes.
And
yeah, it's quite fun.
I think it's one of those things where if we can show some success, I think it'll help.
I think if we ever have a large gain or a large rally, for instance, say from $5,000 up to $20,000 in 1 week, then it's very easy to market. And people want to watch that. People want to watch those big swings. Even on the downside, I think that people want to watch, because think about what is the guy who lost tons of money recently playing options. He's like
Barstool Sports guy.
Yes, I can't remember his name, but he lost hundreds of thousands, right? Millions. And
he lost millions.
And I still want to watch that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do what he did, but I want to watch. So I think there is absolutely entertainment value in watching people play with real money, and even watching them just get completely pwned by the market. And then the other side, when we win, I think it'll feel great for us, but as well, I think it'll be very fun to see that happen.
What are your thoughts moving forward now? Okay, I have a question to ask you. Have you ever, with calls so far in the last 30 days, have you ever bought too expensive of a call?
Yeah.
Forget about Walmart right now, because Walmart, you have days, you haven't sold it yet, so you don't know. But yeah, have you? What's happened?
I had a call expire. Let me refresh my memory by going into my history really quick.
Sorry, let me be more specific with the question. What I would ask is, have there ever been scenarios where you bought a call and you wished you had waited 2 or 3 days because the market went down and you could have bought it a lot cheaper?
Oh yeah, even yesterday, like in a little bit of that way for Walmart, like I see it's in the downtrend. I feel like it's bottoming out, but it's not yet there. And I'm buying the call because I expect it to start ramping back up. And I'm not really trying to time the bottom or anything like that, but I believe that it's close to the bottom. So I'm definitely doing that actually on quite a few of my calls. Like the Uber call that I bought way back, I did the same thing. I bought it as it's on the way up, and then it's like down. And I'm like, I bought way too late. Or too early in that case, right? So it's like, whatever the case is, just what I'm finding is like following the trends in the market is just a horrible way to play. And this is why I bought the Disney put yesterday, which is I see that it's on an upward trend, and I want to buy the put for cheap.
Okay.
And that's the only way to win. Is you believe it's going to go the other way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess I asked you that question because I keep talking about this, like making some moves. But I actually wanted to think a little bit less about it. I mean, I do it and sometimes make a little bit of money, but I'm just trying to think now, like, okay, let's have a little bit of foresight. What do we think? We're approaching May. All these companies are going to report Q2. in July, right?
Yeah.
Oh shucks, competition's over. But we'll probably start again the next time. But just thinking, what do you think? Like, I have some ideas. I'm curious to hear what you think. Like, think 2 months, 3 months out from now.
Yeah.
The market goes up. Economy opens or stays closed or whatever. What do you think is going to stay really strong over the next 2 to 3 months?
So really strong stocks, I mean, you're going to have something like Amazon. I think you're going to have a decent rebound in oil, and those will be pretty strong over the next 3 months. I don't know if they're going to have like a massive rebound, but they'll have a good one. And then all technology stocks, I think, will continue to outperform. Stuff that just doesn't require people. I think that Bitcoin will continue to outperform as well. But what I'm really interested in now that we've gone through this one like earnings season is I'm really curious to play the next quarter of earnings much differently than I did this one, which is identifying 5 to 10 stocks that I really like going close into earnings, and then picking a few that I'm going to bet on that their volatility is going to increase and there's positive sentiment that their earnings are going to be good or that they're performing well, and then buy calls on those no matter what they are, and then sell before earnings. I really want to try that strategy, but that's 3 months in the future. So can't play that at the moment.
Well, you still have a lot of earnings coming up. So you have, Alibaba does not move for some reason, but its earnings are on May 20th. JD is May 15th. Walmart is May 19th. Target is May 27th. Yeah, these. So I think each point is like, takes balls to make a move like this. So that's why I think I'm like, dragging my feet a little bit. But I think that I want to get involved in some far out calls. Basically, it's funny, it feels like a lifetime when you look at it every day, but it's only been 30 odd days since I've done this. But Zoom feels like a marathon. And Zoom is just a scary company to hold on to, I feel like, because there's so much, it's just so much fun. Do you know what I mean? There's like leaks here, they fuck up, they're growing, and make all these mistakes and everything. But I think that I'm going to load up on entertainment stocks for the next 3 months. Because I think that as the economy opens up, I think people will shift away from buying so much toilet paper and Clorox wipes and all these things. I think that they're going to shift away from buying essential items. But I don't think countries are going to be so quick to open up travel again. I think that's probably going to be one of like the areas where they open up last. So if you think about people, right, like they want entertainment. They want to watch Netflix. They want to do. They're not going to be able to travel. They probably don't want to buy like really expensive clothes right away. They're all feeling a little bit, poor. But video games are the answer, I think. So that's why like they all went up. But if I buy some calls dated August, which I'm thinking of doing, I don't know. Have you ever looked at this? How expensive are Disney option prices? Are they really expensive or not that bad?
Well, not when you're buying so close in. So I bought really close, just like on the days or weeks time frame. But if I really do believe that, say, Disney will absolutely go up. Wow, they really shot up yesterday. But if we look at, say, options on the long term, let's look into something like August, you were saying?
Yeah.
Ooh, I can only do July or September. So September calls, they're about, so if you're at the money, it's about $1,000 to buy those.
Okay. It's not as bad as Amazon.
No, so you're paying 10% basically, because it's 105, that's $10,000 worth of Disney, or 10,500 worth of Disney, and you're paying 1,025 for that call.
Okay.
If you go a little bit out of the money, let's say 20% or 15% away to a $120 call, it is $403 for that contract.
I'm going to buy those tonight. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to look at what other like video game stocks there are. gonna buy those. Just hold, I think.
I think this is very reasonable for something like Disney. So, and the reason I think that is because typically you have a huge drop when you have a huge pullback. So Disney was at 146 before March. That was in December. And now it's at 100, 107. So it's had like a 40 to 50% drop from that high. And the likelihood that it will get to 120 to 130 is very, very, very likely, just from the way that stocks pull back. Of course, barring some other event, and that's the macro things that we need to think about. Like, will there be pandemic 2, where there's a resurgence of cases, for instance, and they have to close parks again? For something like that will completely, once again, bottom out the share price. But if that doesn't happen, they're going to go up into the 120, 130 range for sure. So I would say over the next couple of months, like I said before, when parks reopen, that first park reopening, I would expect a 10% jump in share price that day.
And Disney Plus is the, I don't have a subscription to Disney Plus, but is that all the kids' cartoons are on it? I imagine that's a reason for parents to buy it.
It's not all the cartoons, it's all Disney content, whatever Disney owns. So they own everything, Avengers, etc. That will all go on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's true. So it's a logical choice for parents to buy for the kids, just to add on. For
yes, yeah, it totally is. But it is still it's Netflix, but Disney, right? The same way that HBO is still HBO and Amazon Prime is Amazon Prime. And Apple's trying to do this as well. Like, everybody's trying to get into the streaming game. Disney Plus's numbers are not bad, but honestly, they're not that good either. And it's not taking over from any of their other revenue lines yet at this point. So, I mean, you're looking at a 5-year journey to make Disney Plus into like the real media corporation that is even close to what Netflix is doing right now.
Yeah, so anyway, just summarizing my thoughts over the last week or so is that puts are so hard to time. It's so much easier to get a call than a put, I think.
Yeah. But it's all time frame as well. So the way I feel about this is that if you're buying a put, don't spend on the 2-month out time frame. It just doesn't make sense. Because you're really just betting that the market is going to slide sideways and hopefully at some point will dip down in 2 months. Like, do that for a call that it'll go up in 2 months. I completely see. But if you think it's going to go down in that 2-month time frame, well, just buy every week.
Yeah.
Like, if you think it's down this week, then buy that week, and next week buy that week. And it's ultimately, it will still be cheaper to buy like your weekly put than it is to buy the long-term like 2-month put, right? Yeah. So that's also my thinking. If I think it's going down, I'll buy it on the week horizon, not on a long-term.
Yeah. So buy calls and whatever. We probably sound so stupid. Can you imagine if like we're tanking is like, buy puts. Anyway, whatever it is, we're trying to figure this out, and this is a good way to learn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great way to learn.
That's all I have.
That's it for me as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We are really enjoying making this show. Ikkura is all about us learning how to trade options, and actually we do think that we're going to figure this out. So keep watching, subscribe to the channel, and please leave a comment for us down below. We'll see you tomorrow.